I'm happy to welcome Shae,
Hi.
who's going to share her story. Hi, Shae. Welcome.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. So exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, would you like me to share right now?
I'd love you to.
Oh, great. I'll go right in. Yeah, so I'm hearing a lot of the same messages that you were just telling us. I felt this the same way. I was a sophomore in college, 20 years old. I go to Spelman College in Georgia, and it really started off with a blood clot that threatened my health, and it was due to the birth control that I had switched to. And because of that, of course, I had to stop immediately. And although I sought out for other contraceptive methods, I still got pregnant. That's what happens. And at that time, I had it set in my mind that I could not take care of another human being. I couldn't even go to the cafeteria at a good amount of time for me to eat. So of course, taking care of another child and making sure that, they have the effective human needs was just out of the question. And aside from that, I had my entire professional career to think about and to construct myself. So luckily, the partner that I was with, they were also in agreement with me, and they too did not want a child, a first child. It's much like I didn't, so that was good. One issue that I definitely had as far as seeking out information was the stigma of knowing that I was pregnant and I was young and it wasn't planned, and all the things that go into that. I was scared to go to health services. I was scared to get the information that I really needed to figure out how do I go about getting an abortion, and what is the procedure like, and does it hurt, and how long does it take, and all these other different information that I needed in order for me to get the effective treatment that I was seeking. So luckily I did. I guess bit the bullet and went to the health services, and I actually told them what was going on with me, and luckily I was met with professionalism. They did not judge me like I thought they would, but still that stigma was hard on me, and it was really hard to shake off because I didn't know anybody else who ever had an abortion. No one really talked about it with me, and so they directed me to the abortion clinic that was in Atlanta. And I had to pay for everything. I didn't have the money because, I'm a sophomore and I didn't have a job at the time. The only saving grace was that my partner at the time had just gotten his refund check from his college. And luckily he had a large sum of money and enough for us to pay for, I believe it was $500 or $600 for my abortion surgery. But other than that, I couldn't tell my parents. I felt like I couldn't, so that I couldn't look for money in that area. I had my friends, but of course, like college students don't have hundreds and hundreds of dollars in their back pocket. So, so luckily I had that. I know a lot of other people aren't as fortunate to just have a refund check fall at the same time that you need that large amount of money. So that was really great. I went through the procedure. I was still very lost because once again, I didn't have the information that I felt like I needed. Mainly because I was afraid to ask. I was afraid to tell anyone what was going on with me. When I told my friends, we were talking about it like in public. We were talking in script. We were like, "So did you do the thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, it happened today." I was still kind of scared. But the large impact that my story, I believe, has was actually happened a year later, when I decided to tell my mother, and. I mainly didn't want to tell her because she had never met my boyfriend at the time, so it's kind of hard to introduce your boyfriend to someone and you're like, oh, also I'm pregnant and I need an abortion. So I waited a year later, and I was in control of the car, so I felt like she couldn't run me over if that was going to happen. And so I told her, and I just knew that, I don't know, I didn't think she was going to judge me or anything, but I just knew that it was going to be a bad reaction, and so I was like cringing when I was like, and I got an abortion last year. And she was like, I'm really disappointed in you. And she was disappointed because I didn't tell her. And because she had one. She had two. And I would have never known that if I was stuck in that stigma and all the negative ideas of what abortion is and what it means for the person who wants to seek out something like that. And I think that is so impactful, and actually ignited my activism because everyone has no idea. No one has an idea of what it means for you to be in a situation just out of nowhere, feel kind of weird one day, feel like, okay, maybe I'll take a pregnancy test just to see, and it's actually positive, and you're not feeling like this is really you right now. You never think that you're in that situation until you are, and you need that access, you need that right to make a decision in order for you to say, this is my life, this is my body, and I didn't think I was going to be in this situation. Much like our other storyteller told us, you may be against it, but sometimes you need that. You need that option. And luckily, I was able to not only access something like that, and not only have the funds, which most people do not, but also share my story in a way that when my mother told me her story, I felt refreshed. I felt like, wow, okay, it's not just me. Her circumstances were widely different from mine, and I was just lucky enough that I could feel that with her. So that's why I really try to use storytelling as activism right now, because I feel like it's important for others to feel that as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm pretty sure whoever is watching and is going through that would definitely feel refreshed after hearing your story.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.